Hey, I'm going to start making some videos, and I don't know how many of them I'll upload or if I even will. The main point of them is, I guess, to pass on the knowledge that I wanted to pass on to my son, and I still do, and I really hope I get a chance to. But right now I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just hoping to be able to go back to my home and try and build the life I promised him. I hope I can get him back. Okay. What was this video? Oh, it's terrible. I guess I want to start with a bit of the culture that I believe in, that I hope my son, at least, whether he believes in it or not, or just respects it and understands it, and eventually, I think he already does quite a bit. Of tried to put it to him in subtle, small ways throughout his life. He's 9 now. He hasn't seen me for almost a year. Okay, content. I believe we're all put here on this earth, we're in this physical realm for a reason. My belief is that there are multiple levels of existence. Our souls are born. We'll never understand the other levels. Different religions have different concepts. Some of them say 13 levels. None of that really overly matters. The main point is we're put here to learn, to pay back the karma for the mistakes of our past lives and our failed lessons, until we've learnt everything we need to learn to be the best people we can. And once we've done that, we stop being reborn and we move to the next levels and become something else. But until we learn everything we're supposed to learn, we keep getting reborn back into this world to learn. If someone's made big mistakes in their life and hasn't fixed them up by the time they die, then they're typically reborn into a life of what seems like suffering and misery, but there's no reason for it. I believe that's why people suffer seemingly more than they should have for what they've done. I can only imagine what I must have done in my past life. But I must have done it. So I've done everything I can in this life to be the best person I can, and I thought I was doing a good job of it. I can be a bit of an asshole. I need to watch language on this. I intend to put it on YouTube. I'll put it 18 plus. I'm blunt. I'm upfront. But I expect people to be like that back to me, and I can take it, and I try and fill my life with people that can handle that. And I thought I found a woman, well, I did find a woman that agreed that she was like that too, and she respected that in me, and she would give it back to me, and we'd grow to be the best people we could together and have a family. Well, we didn't plan to have a family. I did. I didn't tell her that, but she didn't seem to mind. She was supposed to be infertile at the start, she told me, and I said, well, if the gods give us a child, then obviously it's meant to be. And we had our family, and we raised them with raised my son with my values for a long time, and it seems maybe she didn't share them really, or maybe something, I don't know. Anyway, that's not what this is supposed to be about. Where was I? Okay, so we're born into this world to learn our lessons. And that's why I think it's important to face what you've done, to face it objectively, to be strong, and if someone sits there and calls you out on something you've done, be open and talk about it. My wife said she believed in that. And we'd talk through anything, and that was the key to a long, happy relationship. There might be down points, but as long as you could talk through everything, understand each other, then good people would always make things work, and any two people can be happy together as long as they can do that. And any two people that decide to have children together should do that. That's a commitment you make when you decide to have a child. That's a commitment I made, and that was in my wedding vows, that I would spend the rest of my life being the best person I could to make her happy and to give my son the best life he could have. And whether or not those vows mean anything to her, they'll mean something to me for the rest of my life. My son is my priority. I made my choice. If I chose a person that can't work through things, then that's my mistake. And I guess I pay for that mistake by being alone for the rest of my life, but I'll give whatever I have left to my son. I'm getting off topic here. This was okay. Yes, lessons. We're here to learn lessons and become better people. And the way we do that is by not getting offended when people tell us we've done something wrong, either saying, yes, I believe that was wrong too and I'm trying to work on it, or saying, I can see where you're coming from, but no, I don't think that's wrong. I think I made a good choice there and I dealt with it well, and I'm pretty happy with what I did. And if you can honestly say that and believe it in your heart, then I guess good on you. And if two people have such differing values that's going to clash too much, then quite simply, no, they shouldn't be together and they shouldn't have children. But that's an obligation you have to find that out before you have children. Because ultimately all we leave in this world when we leave is our children and the lessons we give them. I believe our purpose here is ultimately to have children, to raise them with our beliefs, to teach them from our mistakes, tell them the stories of our life, what we did well, what worked out well, what didn't work out well, what mistakes we made, what we could have done better. They may learn from some of it, some of it may be in one ear and out the other. But we do our best to teach them the best we can and hope that they become slightly better than us and have a better life than us. And then their children have a better life than them because they raised them the same, and so forth. I'm not really explaining this very well. Well, I'm going around in circles a bit, I think, but I think you get the idea of it. I mean, we're here to learn our lessons. We're human beings, we reproduce. All we leave behind is our children. And a good person will do the best they can to be a good person. Not to take anything from any other person. To trade fairly with people. Don't steal, don't hurt people. And if you do something to someone, have the decency to speak to them about it. If you've hurt someone, you should be able to sit down with that person, listen to how it's affected them, and talk it through. And if you've had children with someone, well, if you're a decent person, you should be able to sit down and do that. If you're the type of person that can do something and run away and hide from it and say they don't want to talk about it and throw a relationship away when you have children, I'm sorry, I don't believe you're a good person. I believe that's a huge character fault. You're causing a lot of damage. And the wicked read, and it harm none, do as thou wilt. That's got to be taken in the bigger scheme of things, I believe. While calling someone out on something they've done might seem harmful initially, allowing them to go forward and live in denial could be more harmful. I guess that's situational. In my particular situation, without going into too much detail, I did my best to try and help someone learn, and I tried to set an example for my son and trust that person and trust what they said, and they broke that trust and I paid for it. My son's paid for it. But the lesson I've learned from that now is, well, I don't believe I did anything morally wrong. Maybe I could have drawn the line a bit sooner. But you have to give some reasonable time after a relationship breaks down when you have children to try and work things out. I guess the question is, what is that reasonable time? Well, for me, it's past. Unless some miracle happens and my wife proves that she can be trusted again, I just won't be able to trust her. I hope one day we can work things out for my son's sake. But all I can do now is go forward and try and be the best father I can, and hope I can build on the life I promised, and that's not going to be taken from me too, and from him. And maybe one day she'll look at that life and he'll get his family back, or maybe he won't. Maybe she'll never want anything to do with me again, but if that's the case, well, I'll spend the rest of my days raising my son as best I can, and I'll give him what I promised him. I'll build his farm if I can get back there. Hopefully I'll hand it over to him, not when I die, but when I'm alive and I'm there to, with my days out as, well, for lack of a better word, as his caretaker, move into the guest house or whatever, and just support him the best I can raising his family, and give him everything I've built so he can do the same for his children. And I believe that's what makes a strong family. People understanding that you don't build a great life and a great family in one lifetime. It's up to two parents to start it, to give their children that great life, to hand them a life that they can build on. It's hard to do in this society, but we moved out rural. We've got a very large block, enough to support 10 odd families or more, self-sustaining and off-grid. It would be enough for my son to raise his children and maybe their children, and then maybe expand on it. And every generation it would get better and better. That was the mission that I thought I set out on with my wife for my son, and the mission that I will try and complete if I can, to teach him to respect the gods, to respect karma, to treat other people as well as he can treat them. If people's values and beliefs clash with his, then don't associate with them. Choose your friends. The reality is, people are very different. And if people are too different, then they just shouldn't associate. They shouldn't have to, though. If you choose the city life, well, it's a bit harder. If you choose the rural life, well, I believe that's supposed to be a family life. And maybe in the township, only 10 or 20% of the people are like-minded, and either 10 or 20% of the people that you get along with and you associate with. The other 80 or 90, well, you let them live their lives and keep out of their way, and they keep out of yours. You have respect for people to live how they want to live, as long as they're not imposing on your life. But the key is finding someone who has the same values and beliefs as you and is being honest. Not just trying to take the hot guy or the hot girl home, accidentally get them pregnant or get pregnant, telling lies about their values, if that's what it is, and pretending for a long time and then flipping a switch, as happens far too commonly in this world, and relationships break down and everyone has to start from scratch again, and the family gets nowhere. Every child has to start from scratch, and I believe that's a horrible way for the world to be. It's not how we should be. we should be building lives to hand to our children and improving our children's lives. That's all I want to do for my son, if I get the chance to. I'll stop this one here because we're at 15 minutes. I don't think it ended too bad. I went around in circles a bit, but I'll watch it back and maybe I'll upload this one.